Welcome to week 5, everyone. We are at the halfway point, so we got half the class left, 4 more weeks to go. Be looking for your work 4 week, of course, no later than Friday. I will make sure that I get that back to you fully graded, and let me know if you have any questions. Make sure you're reading your feedback. And those of you who have submitted late assignments, my goal is to get those in and graded by this Friday as well. So hopefully the whole grade book should be updated by then. If you're falling behind in other areas, make sure that you're communicating with me because I can't help if I don't know that there is a problem. Okay, technical stuff done. Let's dive into week 5. So this week's all about beauty, taste, and meaning. This is a really interesting week, and a lot of critical thinking goes into this week, and there's a lot of opinion-based stuff going on this week. But I want you to kind of really think about what we talked about last week with context and historical context and cultural context and personal context and where those thoughts all come from when you do this work, when you watch these films, when you're talking and thinking about this idea of beauty. Make sure you have an open mind when we go into this week. So reading and lecture, we got chapters 7 and 8, approaches to art and arguing about art. You can download your lecture slides here, and of course there's a link to the lecture video, or you can just watch it right here. I don't believe this one is terribly long this week, 26 minutes, so that's not too bad. Very short vocabulary list going on. So we got a shorter lecture, but you got lots of videos to watch. You actually have 2 full-length documentaries to watch this week. Artist of the Week. There are no questions this week. It's an artist named Vic Muniz. And so enjoy looking and learning about him. I've included his TED Talk for you. And actually one of the documentaries we're going to watch is his documentary. So I've just included some extra information and, some media about him just as an enrichment activity. So remember, no questions are due this week for the Artist of the Week. But if you do engage, consider what makes Vic Muniz's work so intriguing and so unique. How does his story impact his creation? How does he take something mundane and turn it into something beautiful? Okay, your reflection this week. So you're going to do a 1 to 2 page. So, that's the equivalent of double-spaced 12-point font response to a documentary called Wasteland. And you're to include insight concerning how art can be a healing tool and a source of spiritual joy and energy. So whose story impacted you the most of the stories that are told in this film? Did your opinion of Vic Muniz change from the beginning of the film to the end? So the documentary, it's available on Hulu. It's always been available on Netflix. I just checked and it's not popping up. So if you don't have a Hulu account, I included this link that I found. It's just one of those documentary blogs, but the video's up there for you. The quality may not be as great as Hulu or Netflix, but you should be able to view it. Please let me know if any of this isn't working, if you're not able to view the film, and I'll make sure that we work something out. But it's a really great film. I always get awesome feedback from students. When it first starts, they're not quite sure where it's going, and then it's a very moving film, and a lot of students say it brought them to tears. So please do enjoy that. Good one to watch with family as well. So then you're going to be doing a film review this week on a documentary called Why Beauty Matters. And this is a really interesting documentary. And I get a lot of students who aren't quite sure what they think about Roger Scruton and his position. I'd like you to go into it with a critical point of view. Keep an open mind. Don't just take everything he says and think, yep, he nailed the nail on the head. He's got everything right. I want you to really consider what the other side of the argument. I want you to kind of take his arguments apart and think about whether or not he's telling the whole story or whether or not he's just giving you evidence that communicates his point of view. I think he has some really interesting and good things to say, and then I think there's a lot he has to say that me as an art historian that I don't agree with. So after viewing the documentary, you're going to write a 2 to 3 page review, and I want you to consider arguments both for and against the position of Roger Scruton. A lot of students will do one and not the other, so make sure that you include position of both sides of the argument, because I really want you to consider both ends and how these aren't black and white issues. It may not be that you agree with everything and you agree just with some things like I do. So make sure you include all of that. You will want to use evidence from the film or your own research as support. This may include images if you want to include some images in your paper. Further, consider the concepts of taste and aesthetics. So this is material from lecture, and how they are important aspects of discerning beauty. So please give a title page, MLA or APA format. It's going to be submitted as a safe assign, so it's going to be scanned for plagiarism, so make sure that you include any outside research or references as in-text citations, as well as a works cited section at the end of your paper. So I'm fine with you using first-person narrative voice in this assignment because it's such an opinion-based assignment, but make sure that you're really backing up your discussion and that you're not just relying strictly on opinion, but that you're giving evidence as to why you believe what you believe about this film. And then you've got your quiz as well. So that's what we got going on. So quiz, 2 to 3 page film review, 1 to 2 page reflection, no questions this week. And you got your lecture and reading material. So a lot going on, a lot of enrichment going on, a lot of viewing documentaries, doing some reading, getting through some lecture. And I think this week students tend to really actually enjoy it. It's a very thought-provoking week. So any questions about any of the material, if any of the links aren't working for you and you're not able to watch something, please let me know ASAP, and we'll make sure that we do some troubleshooting to make sure you're able to get all the material in there. Okay, have a wonderful, wonderful week, everyone.